going, everyone? Jacob here, coming back at you with another video. Gonna talk to you about why I quit Prime Inc. after 6.5 years. We'll be back right after this. Alright, welcome back. So, we're gonna talk about why I quit Prime after 6.5 years. We had our ups and downs throughout the years at Prime. Overall, Prime is a great company to come into and get your CDL, get your experience, and then decide from there whether or not you want to stay or not. Worked out well for me, but it came down to three major reasons on why I left. The first one being was as being a lease driver, there was no pay increase, there was no benefits or anything different for having 6.5 years experience compared to someone just out of training getting their first truck as a lease driver. We all got paid the same. Now, granted, I was getting runs that were probably a little bit harder to run because they know I'd get there on time. Throughout my whole time there, I had, I believe, 3 late loads. One I know I kind of messed up on. The other two were early on, and I really don't remember what they were. So that could have just been a system issue. So I know one for sure was my fault, but still, after 6.5 years, only having 3 late loads ain't a bad record. Never had any accidents, never had anything like that. Now I was hit several times in truck stops and stuff like that, but none were my fault. Um, but as I said, what it came down to is pretty much if you started right out of training, you got the same pay and same benefits and everything that I had with 6.5 years experience. So that's the kind of lower end of the reason. Next one was health insurance. As a lease driver, you are a contract or what they labeled as a 1099 independent contractor, but you're not really independent. You are basically a contracted employee because you are under contract with them and you cannot pull anyone else's freight, so you're not independent. But anyways, they do not provide health insurance or any sort of benefits, so you have to go out and get your own. Now, if you go through the marketplace and all that, they do have stuff to make stuff cheaper, but over the last 4 years of being a lease driver, they kept increasing the rates and dropping coverage every year, especially since Obamacare went into effect. It just got worse and worse every year. What it came down to was we were looking for 2020, we were looking for family to have insurance to put us all on a policy and say get the kids off of like TennCare, which is Tennessee Care, would have been roughly like $14 to $2,000 a month out of pocket to pay for health insurance. And that's just to have the health insurance, not including what the deductibles and office visits and everything else was in the cost. Now, with that, I could have switched back over to company driver to get health insurance through the company. But then that leads into pretty much the number one reason on why I decided to leave Prime was because of home time. As a lease operator, your fixed costs are roughly going to be $1,400 a week. Some are going to kind of shit the bed a little bit with that dollar amount, but you can easily make money still. There was times where I was making $1,600 to $2,600 take home every week. But problem comes into you go home. Pretty much every day you're not out running, so you take that $1,400 divided by 7, you're looking at $200 a day it is costing you to be home. Now that's literally costing. So if you take a week off, no revenue, no nothing coming through, you're still going to owe $1,400 on top of your next week. So that next week, you are going to be negative $2,800 before you even turn a mile. So you pretty much have to plan it out to take your home time when you can afford it. Now, I tried other things like running the regional account that we had out of Searcy, Arkansas, which kept me close by home. Great money. Probably would still be at Prime if they had that account, but they renegotiated the rates with Walmart and chopped the rates, so it wasn't worthwhile to stay on that account. Not really Prime's fault, but they had to do what they had to do to keep that account. And then again, if I switched over to the company side, it would break down to it's a minimum of 3 weeks out before you can go home as a company driver. And that's not what I was looking for. So, company I found and where I'm at now, I can get home pretty much every weekend, and they've actually fulfilled that so far. I would have been home this weekend, but I thought I can get this load delivered early, Google reviews and stuff like that. But got there yesterday, and they turned me away, told me come back Monday. So that's why I'm chilling out at the truck stop and making videos now, because I got time to do it. But anyways, now I can go home without it actually costing me. It's a huge benefit of not having to worry about, all right, hey, I'm going home now next week. Check is going to be about half of what it's supposed to be, and I'm just not tired of paying to go home. So that's the 3 main reasons why I decided to leave Prime. My fleet manager still has reached out to me over Christmas to make sure I was still doing okay. Let me know that I am welcome back at any time. I really have nothing terribly bad to say about everything that's gone on for my 6.5 years at Prime. Now I'm gonna say that it's not all peaches and cream and thing. There was some stuff that went down that I wasn't too happy about. A lot of communication issues going on with deal with weekend and night dispatch, dealing with one of the big complaints I had was we went through so many road assist managers that I don't know why we had one great one, but then since him, the ones we had were you'd have to go through 5 different messages to explain everything over and over and over again for them to be able to do anything. But that's kind of on the office side. So, but anyways, if you're looking at coming to Prime, realize that they are a OTR company. They're not really a regional or dedicated company. They do have some small accounts like that. The big regional that they have is Northeast Regional. That plays a little bit different, but if you live anywhere else, expect to be out a minimum of 3 to 4 weeks at a time. Just the way they have their system set up. So, yeah, that's pretty much why I quit. Walked in, decided, me and my wife sat down, talked about it. I looked at the company where I'm at now, did the mileage rate, kind of figured out how much mileage I need to run and what they were saying I can get, and said it's doable. It's going to be a little bit tighter, but we're accepting that. But then I've got going to have health insurance, life insurance, vision, dental, and then home every weekend, and make only a couple $100 less than what I was making take home compared to my gross amount, and then minus taxes. And then if I factored in my taxes, my health insurance, and everything else that would have to come out of my money as a lease driver, I would probably be making the same, if not less than what I'm making now as a company driver. And that's with getting home every weekend. So kind of keep that in mind when people are sitting there flaunting all these numbers about being a lease driver and how much money you can make. It's not all peaches and cream. They don't explain all the deductions that are coming out. You can make some fat money real quick, especially if you become a trainer. But then the other side of that is they don't explain that the risk that you're taking. If you have a student that wrecks your truck, you are liable for it. They don't tell you that. Student, all they get tacked on was some extra mileage. And if you don't believe me, reach out to Bill Douglas. Figure out who he is and find out his story and see exactly what the hell is going on with him if you don't believe me on that. So, so right now I'm much happier. As I said, I'm home pretty much every weekend except for this weekend, which is kind of my fault. Gonna have health insurance and everything all taken care of, taxes and all that, and still make about pretty much the same amount of money every week. So that's my 3 main reasons why I quit Prime. If you have any questions or anything, if you didn't see my video earlier on where to get your Prime Inc. information from, I might hit on Prime here in the future on a little subjects with on like short videos or something like that, or odd topics. I do have 6.5 years experience there, so if you have questions about it, I will help you out. I've got my email, my Instagram, Facebook page, and hell, there's even a phone number that you can call, leave me a voicemail, or text me on that number and down below. And you can get a hold of me that way, and I'll try and help you out as best I can, or direct you to somebody that can help you. But if you didn't see that video, I will put into the description of this video, TWIZTED Big D, another YouTuber kind of coming out. He's kind of new to starting his channel. I'll put his contact information in there for Prime Inc. information, because I'm not going to do pay rates and stuff, raises like that, how to get your CDL and stuff like. I'm out of the loop now, so it's going to be on to these other YouTubers to help you out that are over at Prime. As of right now, I think I am the only YouTuber here at the current company I'm at. As I said, I want to give it a couple weeks before I start discussing the information. Maybe I'll go into the office one weekend or take a weekend down there and see if I can sit down with some of the office people or something like that and get all the information out there to you guys about the current company I'm at. So, with that being said, please thanks for watching all the way through all this. Make sure you hit the subscribe, hit the bell, make sure you click it up to all notifications, that way you get notified when I do post a video or go live. I might go live later tonight for shits and giggles, don't know yet. And then make sure you go over to TWIZTED Big D's channel and subscribe and hit the bell for his channel. As I said, he's got some really great information. So, alright everyone, so I'll talk to you later. Stay safe.